So basically, yeah, what they're saying here is that this is not the case. I am in fact very wrong. I was wrong. Correct me. Sorry. All right, so before we get too far into this, I do want to go ahead and preface this. Reforge Stones and some of the other set stones are going to be kind of a more pay-to-win aspect of Diablo Immortal. These are not going to be something that just the casual player is just going to freely and just willy-nilly do all this, okay? So keep that in mind when you're thinking of Reforge Stones, because you want to make sure that you are being the most resource conscientious that you can when you are trying to buy these, and when are you trying to apply them, and what stats you are trying to get. Now, with that being said, I want to go ahead and I want to start with one of the only spots you can really buy them. And then I want to show how they actually work and kind of talk a little bit more into depth on what you should know about them. So first, let's go over to the Hills Trader. So if we go over to the Hills Trader, now this is the easy way to buy these. You will see here that once a week, you can buy 8 Reforge Stones for 1,600 hills. I currently have 8,000 hills. I did donate a bunch of contributions to the Immortal, so I have a little bit of extra. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna buy all 8 of these. Notice that it cost me 1,600 hills. Just like my hills video that I released, this is not gonna be a great investment at all. Honestly, especially because, like I said, it is a more in-game type aspect that you're gonna be using these Reforge Stones. But I want you to be aware of what you can actually get with them and how they work. Because I did see a lot of people were misinformed on what actually happens, or at least from what I understand, they didn't understand how this works. So when you come over here to the blacksmith, you can actually use these Reforge Stones. Now, the common misconception that I saw is people were saying, oh, don't worry about doing these, don't do these at all, because you lose the stats when you transfer gear or when you switch gear. I'm not seeing exactly what they're talking about, so I'm not sure, maybe I'm missing it, but as far as I'm aware, when we come over here and we reforge a stat, right, we go reforge, you can see that I have 2 stats on this one, I have 2 stats on this one, so on and so forth. You can see what stat bonus I have currently. The dragon is just the standard Reforged Stones. That's going to be the ones in your inventory. That's going to be, where is it at? They are located, I feel like I'm looking right at them, and I am. These right here, these are your standard Reforged Stones, so you can see exactly what stats you have. Now, what happens is you apply these stats to a piece of gear. So for example, let's just talk about, okay, I have a shoulder piece here. Notice that this one here does no bonus stats, but if I go over here to my other one, this has bonus here. This is what was reforged on my piece of gear. So if I transfer this over, so say I upgrade my gear, or in this case, downgrade my gear, does the transfer stay? Absolutely it does. When you are using these Reforged Stones, they are locking into the placement of the ability, or the piece of gear. It's not gear specific. It doesn't matter what this piece of gear is. What matters is the fact that you are upgrading this piece of gear. Notice that all of my pieces of gear are also awakened, and that's because I want to be able to take my level 10 gem and put it in any particular piece of gear, because it unlocks a different modifier than if I wanted to just use one. So I've unlocked them all. Same kind of concept here. I can switch these pretty freely and keep the actual stats that transfer with them. So notice that once again, I've not lost any damage or boost that I had here. And you will see here that I have my life regeneration and my primary attack damage increased by 3.5. Now, let's talk about why is this important to your count, and why would I even bring this up? Because I started the video talking about this is more kind of a pay to win, or not really a free to play aspect of the game, more id game. That's because of the stats that you're getting, okay? Let's talk about this. I have a primary attack damage increase of 3.5. I have a damage done to enemies below 30% life increase by 3%. Crit damage, basically. I also have over here, I have attack speed. I have primary attack increased by 4%. Attack speed is a great one to have, especially for a demon hunter. I also have like life regeneration. This is another 2%, which gives me like 4%, and then plus a block chance to increase. Notice that this is a set. We're gonna talk about the family sets here in a minute. And then if we keep going over here, I still have more, right? I have all damage increased by 1.5. I already had that, right? And I have primary attack increased by 2%. I already have that. All these stats will stack, okay? So it's very advantageous for you to use these a little bit and go ahead and apply them, right? Because it doesn't make any sense not to. Notice that this is that is that attack speed by 1.5. So by having that 1.5 there and having, I want to say it was over here, right? Somewhere in this general area right here. So that gives me 3% attack speed increase with those 2 boosts. Now, what I can do is I can upgrade those. Hopefully, if I go ahead and I go over here and I go to Reforge, I can select one of these pieces of gear. Let's go ahead and let's just select the helm here. I'll go ahead and reforge. I will click on this stat to reforge. Notice that you do have to select a stat that you're gonna roll for, exactly like you would if you were doing, for example, your charms and upgrading those. Once again, kind of a more in-game thought. But notice here that we have all these other ones too. We have other stones we can use. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stones. And unfortunately, the only way to get those stones, they really messed this up in my opinion, is they paywalled it, which is definitely a rip. They should not have done that even in the slightest. But the only way to get those is actually by having the eternal orbs, which is very unfortunate. So in this case, I have 1,000 eternal orbs, so I could buy 10 of these stones, and then I could try to get the boost. Notice here that you can see that these give a pretty good boost, and you can also see the set that they belong to. I did talk about, we're gonna talk about sets again later, right? So let's go ahead and let's reforge one, let's re-roll one, so we can see the exact process, how that works, and that way you know for yourself what you're gonna be looking for. So let's go ahead and let's reforge this one. I wanna reforge, you know what? Maybe I don't want to reforge that one, because what a set is this, right? So if we look at it, we can go and we can see, okay, well, what set do these actually give you and what set don't these give you, right? So if we look at this set gives me, this is Vengeance family set. Your primary attacks have a 2% chance to increase all damage you deal by 100% for 1 second. So literally your primary attacks can do a lot of damage as you stack these ones. Now, what you have to do to get these is you literally have to get these Vengeance stones. Notice that you also have these other Vengeance modifiers here. Attack speed, damage to players, damage to enemies. Notice what you can actually get stat-wise from these stones, right? Also notice that over here, it's a random, okay? So these can give you anything. These are specific, okay? Now, yes, I do understand that you can do all kinds of crazy things with these. You don't have to necessarily stack and buy just these. But I don't like that. To be specific, you have to actually use money, actual money, to buy them. That's definitely unfortunate. I don't feel like that's a fair thing to do. Let's show you what happens when you go ahead and you re-roll one, right? So let's see, let's find one that's not necessarily the greatest. So let's go here, over here. Let's go to this top one, reforge. Now, what do we get here? You'll see that damage to undead increases by 3%. Also notice this set bonus is different, right? Is it great? No, not really. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep the original, and we're gonna go ahead and roll again. Now, if we roll again, what did we get? Knockaway resistance increased by 6%. Is that helpful for me? Not really, so let's go ahead and keep it. We're gonna just keep going through this process. Notice the stats that you can actually get though. Notice that each one of these is different and each one changes. Depending on what gem that you actually get out of the set is what you actually are basically dealt with to work with, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different chances of stones to use. So you can always get something that could potentially be better for you, right? Duration of beneficial effects. Now we're going to keep that one. Keep moving forward. Attack speed increased by 1%. This is a global. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that because it is a global effect here. So we'll take that. Now, what did that do for me? Did that do anything for me? When we go and we look at these actual there we go, Vengeance set here. Now, what did this do anything for me? No, it did not. I still only have the one identified here, and that's because what's it at? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 of them identified, and I would need another one to unlock that next bonus. So if I come over here, maybe I could try, you know what, for the video, let's see if I can find another one that I can roll to. Let's go ahead and let's try this one. I'm probably gonna regret this, to be perfectly honest. I'm probably gonna regret it. We'll try it anyways. Let's see what we can get. Let's see if we can't get one more so I can show you the difference. Reforge, I only have 9 left. That is unfortunate. I can always buy more, yes, but I was trying not to do that. Let's see, can we get one? Absolutely not. Ooh, well, we're gonna take that. Let's crit hit damage, right? Crit hit damage increased by 2%. I'll go ahead and I'll take the extra crit damage. We'll take that one, unfortunately. All right, let's try to find another one real quick to do. Okay, block chance. We don't care about block chance. Let's go here. Your primary attacks have Nope. So that would be a good one, right? That's a difference in the opponent, like slowing them. That'd be kind of cool. But unfortunately, that's just not going to be helpful. Let's go ahead and move on. Heal party members. Ooh, that's a really good for support. Not one that we really want. Crit hit damage increased by, oh my gosh. Okay, so we're just gonna keep getting all the crit hit damage. This is not what I was trying to showcase. That's actually works out well though. I want another attack speed increase one so that I can show you guys what happens when you get those. Let's see, do we have another one that I could do? Maybe. Okay, so let's go here. Life regen. Nope. We may not be able to get it for the video, and that's unfortunate. Maximum life increase by 1%. Ooh, that is pretty nice. I'm gonna keep the regen though. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for this particular event. I could always just buy one. You know what? Let's just, for the sake of it, let's buy one really quickly. This is definitely a feel bad type moment. So if we go down here and we go to materials, yeah, materials, and I want which stone is it that I'm trying to buy here? The Vengeance Stone. Yes, Vengeance, I believe. Yeah, it is the Vengeance Stone, right? That's what it looks like, yeah. Vengeance Stone, go ahead and buy that. Okay, I bought one Vengeance Stone, unfortunately, so it cost me a little bit of money. Go over here and let's go upgrade it, Reforge, and we'll go grab attack speed. No, I want to keep that one there. Let's go here and let's do this one here, and let's go ahead and use that one Vengeance. What did we get? Damage to enemies suffering loss of control increased by 2.5. That's unfortunate. I don't really want that, but we'll go ahead and we'll take it. And the reason being is because that should have unlocked the next one for us. So when I look at this, and we see the set bonuses, primary attacks have 2% increase all enemies. And then as we look at these even more, we should be able to now see that I have the 4 when it does not look like it applied. Interesting. As far as I was aware, it looked like these are supposed to apply when you actually got 4 of them. For the first 2 that I got, I got the first bonus, and then from there it went on, I believe. I could be mistaken. Let me know that in the comments below. What is oh, I see. Items with three bonus attributes from the same family unlock an additional family set bonus attribute. Makes sense. So items with 3 bonus attributes from the same family unlock an additional. So basically, yeah, what they're saying here is that this is not the case. I am in fact very wrong. I was wrong. Correct me. Sorry. Now, I was wrong because I misunderstood what this was telling me, and that was the family bonuses here. I knew I wasn't getting all the bonuses when I would line these up properly, and it makes a lot more sense now. I am really confused as to why it does seem like this Vengeance bonus is live. You can see here that it is actually colored in here. That would indicate that it is actually live. I don't know why it is or not. I shouldn't have it. What you can see here is it says items with 3 bonus attributes from the same family unlock an additional family set bonus attribute. What does that mean? That means right now your primary attacks have a 2% chance to increase all damage you deal by 100% for 1 second. The family bonus, when I get 3 of these items on, will unlock another bonus attribute. So you can make them, stack them higher, you can make them stronger, you can get more of a result from this. Unfortunately, I really don't understand this. I do understand that this is the attribute list, so I'm wondering if maybe because it's just telling me like, hey, I have this particular attribute here, but these other ones here, you can see here that it doesn't say anything about them, right? It doesn't show me that even though I have some of these, that they're great, that they're blue, right? It doesn't tell me that, like, for example, life regeneration increased by 2%. I have 2 of those, right? It doesn't even show these are lit up, but that one it does, which is very, very weird. That did throw me off. But what you can see here is that the family bonuses is you have a 2% chance when attacked to immobilize your attacker from jolt. Tremor, your primary attacks have the 2% to inflict 7,500 damage, basically. Vengeance, your primary attack has 2% chance to increase all damage you deal by 100% for 1 second. This will get unlocked when you get the 3 pieces of gear. So currently it is not that effective. But these are stats that you guys need to be aware of. You guys definitely need to pay attention to these and start getting them ready. For example, I'm probably going to pick a couple of pieces of gear here to get as much attack speed. Notice that the family set bonus on this one is actually a max of 2% here. I'm going to try to get a max of 2% here on this one. Or actually, more like this one, and then 2% up here. And that way, when I get this unlocked and I get the third stat increase on there, then I'll boost that up, and we'll get that family bonus set, which will then give me my primary attacks for this 1 second, which would be great. And attack speed is just amazing as a demon hunter anyways. But overall, this the very first set here, the wildfire set, where you can get the increased attack damage, that one's going to be amazing, and skill damage increase. This is going to go right in line with your current charms you're going to have, and crit hit damage increase. This is also amazing. These stats to have are very, very GG. You want to make sure you get them on there. Just keep in mind that if you do stack these back to back to back, keep in mind that when you go ahead and when the third stat is unlocked, depending on what you stack, is what you can get from the set bonus on these. These are, once again, in-game stats to talk about. But in the meantime, these are still stats that are active, that do boost your attack, they do boost your damage output. So keep that in mind, and make sure you kind of get them ready, get them lined up and ready. But try not to break the bank with your hilts or anything else to buy these Reforge Stones. Don't be like me, don't spend your internal orbs on them. Hopefully this video helps you a little bit more on what to do with them, what you can actually do with the Reforge Stones, and what kind of stats you're going to be looking at. And yeah, it gives you an idea of how to prep properly for when you do have free bonus stats that you can get on an item. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace.